Started investing in silver, I made a very big mistake, and it took well over 15 years to recover. I don't want you making the same mistake. Actually, about 10 or 12 years. I don't want you making the same mistake. I was told a long time ago that a truly successful man will share the things that he did wrong before he ever shares the things that he did right, for a couple of reasons. First off, a truly successful person doesn't have anything to prove to anybody else. Secondly, a truly successful person remembers how hard it was to scrape, save, invest, work, build, and they always wish that somebody along the way gave them a helping hand. So when they get to that spot, they want to help people. Well, one of the things about being a content creator, especially in the finance space, you get to see, you read a lot of comments and you get a pulse for what people are thinking. And a lot of people, as the silver price rises, and it's going to do exceptionally well, I believe a lot of them are going to fall into a trap that I did. So let me go back to 2010 when I bought my first ounce of silver. It was at $18. And I want to stop real quick because I made a video about copper and why people need to start hoarding it now. I put the link directly to it because I don't think the video is going to get shared out very much. I highly suggest if you'd be up for maybe watching it and maybe hitting the thumbs up and giving me a little support that way. But I think it's a very important message that people get out right now about copper pennies. Now, going back to 2012, and I was curious just to get this fired up. Type silver if you own silver and you're excited about it. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's really cool. I own silver. I've been buying silver since 2010. My first piece was a hand-poured 2-ounce bar when silver was $18 an ounce. Coming out of the Great Recession, I knew about the real estate crash ahead of time, sold all my homes. I've told you guys this story before. But it wasn't until 2010 that I really started to learn about cycles, monetary cycles, and economic cycles as well. Monetary and economic cycles are actually two different things, but they coincide with each other on large scales, large cycles. You have to go through many smaller cycles, booms and busts, recessions and buildups, before you get to these crashes where the monetary system changes. When I bought that 2-ounce hand-poured bar in a pawn shop in California, I was so excited because it had taken a lot for me to get to that point. To understand how precious metal was actually took a learning curve, a lot of reading. And when I bought it, I was set. I knew what I had to do. And I started to work harder and extra to buy up silver. And I started using some of my side hustle money from tractors to buy it. The silver price rose exponentially in that next year, topping out around $49 and change. I bought at around $44. I bought a monster box of American Silver Eagles. I paid $50 even for them at that time. The premiums were a lot lower back then. I thought silver was going to go to the moon, that it was going to not only hit an all-time high, merely what? We were about $1 away from it back then, 50 cents away. But I thought it was going to go to the moon, but it didn't. It started to tank, and I rode that silver down, and I still have it today, that monster box. I still have the 2-ounce bar to this day. And I'm not bummed at all because it taught me the most valuable lesson. You see, a lot of people on YouTube and on X and all these different platforms, they say, I'll never sell my silver. Well, then I hate to tell you, unless you're already a multimillionaire, then I would understand. You're always going to lose because things don't stay up forever. When we talk about monetary cycles, it's a big deal because what happens is the monetary system turns over and changes. The government always changes it when it's failing. And it's failing when you know it's failing when other assets are priced too high in that currency. And what happens is a reset. You know, a lot of people like to talk about the big reset, the great reset that's coming, and they seem to think that it's going to happen in their favor. And I'm going to be honest with you. And I want there are people that are so full of hope, so full of excitement. They think that the government is going to ultimately just get rid of taxes. They think that the government, and I'm telling you right now, if you're listening to politicians saying I'm getting rid of taxes, you don't understand politicians. Sure, they may get rid of a type of tax. There's another one that's going to pop right up because ultimately humans that become politicians are greedy, and that's their piggy bank that you're touching. Their people are so full of hopium that things are just going to get reset. All debt's going to go away, and you're going to get to keep your house. That's not going to happen. And I'm gonna encourage people through this simple exercise. Type yes or no if you agree with me. And for those of you that don't agree with me, that you say, hey, no, Ninja, my home mortgage is just going to be wiped clear because the government is going to end up doing that because there's going to be a crash so big that they're just going to give up, that they're going to go to a gold standard, that they're not going to print money out of control anymore. They figured it out. They know what they did was wrong. I highly suggest you look right now at the comments because I believe a majority of the people watching this channel, like 99% of them, are solid humans. Regardless of net worth, they are solid, thinking, logical human beings that are getting ahead little by little, and the reason why I said watch out for my mistake is because I rode that silver price down. See, the whole goal is to convert that silver during time of crisis, or to convert that gold into another asset class. I've said this before, I'm going to say it again, and I'm 100% right. I'm completely confident in this statement. Real estate will continue to crash as the price of gold and silver rise. And the real gift is when you invested in gold and silver a handful of years ago when I was talking about it. And you see, I don't sit there and tell you, you should be buying silver right now. You know, there are a lot of YouTubers that make money. And I had affiliate links, but I choose not to bring them up. You won't see them in this video because I'm not buying gold and silver. Why would I tell you, hey, this may be a good thing? But there are people that are out there that have never been through the last economic cycle. They're too dang young. They don't know their butt from a hole in the wall. Sorry, but it's true. When it comes to economics and finance, the only big money they've ever made is what they're doing on YouTube. And they're like pumping that affiliate link. Check this out. Check this out. Oh my gosh, this is great, because they're making money from it. Good news is I sell financial education at just enough of a price point that hurts to where people go, I'm going to pay attention and listen, and then their life changes. I'm completely confident in that. I got the 20, 30 emails a day thank yous. Thank you to every one of my students that do that. And my students now are enough to fill an entire NFL stadium. I still can't get over that. But I'm telling you right now, this isn't the time at all-time highs to be buying up assets. But there is a time to start paying attention as those assets rise and strong in price, precious metals, to be getting ready to convert into cash flowing assets that'll change your life. Not only produce actual cash flow, right, but also tax write-offs. But there are a lot of people like, I'm going to hold on to the silver till the day I die. And they're not rich. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I'm going to pass it on to my heirs. I'm like, I got an idea. How about instead of passing on, 500, 1,000, let's say you got 5,000 ounces of silver to your heirs. Why don't you go and buy some cash flow real estate when it's tanking to be able to hand it to them, not only hand them a massive amount of cash flow, but an insane amount of equity on this next rise up. See, I don't think you're going to hear that from any other buddy on YouTube because they don't have the experience that I've had over the last, 25 years and 22 businesses. It's funny. Somebody asked me once, they were trying to mock me, trying to catch me, get my goat. Well, the only reason you have 22 businesses, you weren't good at them. No, it's actually the opposite. What I found out is I found my limit in every single business. I could only make so much with so much of my time and effort. So I rolled into a different type of business, took that money, rolled it because I wanted to roll larger and larger and larger amounts. I said it from the first time I ever sold a course. If you want to start a side hustle, go out in your garage. I'm going to teach you how to find the crap to sell. I'm going to show you how to sell it for the most amount of money. And then we're going to roll it over. And I'm going to teach people how to roll 20 bucks, then 100, then 1,000, then 100,000. Now at $100,000, it gets a little difficult. You got to find asset classes. I was doing that with crypto in 2017. And then you get to the million, you start rolling millions. Again, it gets harder as you roll bigger money. But you got to learn it sometime, and every single one of you can do it. You just need to commit. You need to get vicious and aggressive and excited. Well, you know the easiest way to do that? Get around other people that think like that. If you think for a second that you're going to hold on to your gold forever, cool, copy. This is not the channel for you. Go watch some channel that talks about a financial reset and all your problems are going to be gone. The government's going to stop taking your money. I choose to live in reality. My name's the Economic Ninja, and I'm going to go crush it in 2026. And if you want to go crush it, stick around. We're going to go do it together. The Ninja is out.